Trump: I don't need a summit with Mexico, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. President Trump said he does not need to hold a summit with the leaders of Mexico, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras as he continues his calls for the countries to do more to prevent migrants from traveling to the U.S. Trump has excoriated the countries for what he says is inadequate action in trying to stop illegal immigration into the U.S. He has repeatedly threatened to shutter the border with Mexico to stem an increase in illegal border crossings, and last week to El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. He's maintained that the countries have stepped up efforts in recent days to combat the flow of migrants since he made the threats. No. Trump has long criticized the Northern Triangle countries for failing to prevent migrants from making the trek, often placing the blame at the feet of the governments themselves and questioning why the U.S. provides the aid. Trump also this week to address drug trafficking across the border and illegal immigration, threatening to slap auto tariffs on the country if it did not do enough to combat the rise in drugs and migrants coming into the U.S. He again warned he would shutter the border if the tariffs did not force further action. But Trump added Mexico has stepped up its efforts to stem border crossings since he began making the threat. Trump's claims that Mexico has started to deport Central American migrants in large numbers only this week runs counter to statistics from Mexico interacted with 886,640 Guatemalan, Honduran and Salvadoran migrants from 2011 through February 2019, including 472,249, 53% in the 4 Mexican states that border Central America. From 2001 to February 2019, Mexico deported 2.15 million people from the 3 countries.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park,